Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. One, two, three. Testing, testing. One, two, three. This is my first time live streaming, so that's what I am testing. Um, I was just typing that out, but I realized since you can hear me, I don't have to type it out. What I would really like to know is how I can get someone else on this call. Um, I'm going to put I think I already put a link in the description. So if anyone wants to join me through Zoom, I invite you to do that. That's the real test here. I was able to get sound working a couple of days ago, but I did not test Zoom. So I want to be able to bring people on. So let's see if there is. Oh, there's no link in the description. Okay, let me try to add the Zoom link in the description. I thought I already did that. Let me go back to Zoom and copy that. Okay, I just copied the invite link and I'm now going to paste it into the description. Save. Okay, I just saved it. So now if I reload the page, hopefully, or if you reload the page, hopefully the link will show up. Let's see. It is loading, still loading. Almost done loading. And why doesn't it not? I don't know why it's not showing up in the description. Let me just try to paste it in the chat. Uh, Check out Midas Touch or David Pacman, says Lahopi in the chat. I have called into David Pacman's show 3 times actually. It's in those, there's links to those. There's videos on my channel that link to each one. So you can find those on my channel. Got to give Dan props for trying something new, though. Thank you for the props. Um, all right, I'm going to let me paste that link in the chat, and maybe that will work. Okay, copy invite link, paste, boom. Okay, there is the link. I think you should be able to see it now. Does anyone want to confirm? You can see at least if I don't know if you want to click on the link, that would be great, but can you at least see the link? Um, Please let me know. Uh, and then hopefully someone will be willing to be a brave guinea pig and come in. Um, I guess I don't have to worry about this getting recorded. I think that happens automatically on YouTube. I don't have to record it on Zoom. Okay. Um, Lahopi says, I can see your stream. Madge? I'm not sure what, I don't know what Madge is. Um, you want to say what you mean by that? John, you say it's not showing in the video description. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm live streaming this and it can't actually update it until I end the live stream. But I at least put I put the link in the chat. So can you see the link to can you see the Zoom link that I put in the chat? Um, oh, Madge is a typo. Okay, Lahopi. Yeah, I know you can see me and you can hear me, but what I want to know is can you see the link that I pasted into the chat? It says https:// all that stuff. Can someone let me know if you can see the link? Okay, good. John, you said you could see the I see in chat. I assume you mean I see the link. Okay, good. Lahopi says you can also see the link. Okay, good. So hopefully it will show up in the description later. Maybe because I did save it on my ends, but maybe YouTube cannot update the description while I'm live streaming. Um, I don't know why else it wouldn't be able to show. But actually, here, let me check it one other way. I'm going to go onto my phone and see if I can see the link in the description on my phone. And uh, now it's not even letting me open the video on my phone. That's weird. Um, see if okay, it lets me open a different video. I wonder if that's because I'm live streaming. Oh, here's another link to it. Okay, now I can get to the video on my phone. Now let me go into the description. I see there are 5 people watching. Thanks for coming by. And 3 likes. Thanks for the likes. Okay, I'm in the description, and no, it is not showing up. So I'm guessing that it's not updating the description because I'm live streaming right now. Um, so I guess I'll just have to rely on the um, the link that's in the chat itself. I see we got 6 people now. And okay, so um, the next thing I need to figure out is can I actually pull someone onto a Zoom call? So does anyone out there want to be my guinea pig? You can be anonymous. You don't have to do video if you don't want to do video. You don't even have to say anything. You can be silent. I just want to see if I can pull someone on onto a call um, so that, in the future, if when I'm actually doing, uh, see, the goal here is to be able to live stream debates and discussions with people. And right now, I'm just testing all the technical stuff. So I want to see if I can pull someone onto my Zoom call, and then it will be um, automatically streamed onto YouTube. So does anyone in the chat or anyone who's hearing this, I guess you don't have to appear in the chat to be listening, and I guess some people aren't because not everyone who's watching is typing in the chat. I see 5 people are watching, but I only see 2 people who've typed in the chat. So I guess there's and one of the people, one of the 5 is me. So I guess that means there are 2 other people who haven't typed anything in the chat. I hope I'm not scaring you away. Maybe I just scared somebody away because I see it went down to 4 now. I only know that John is here and Lohopi is here or was here. I don't know if you're still here, but there are four people here. I don't know who they are. Um, but anyways, I just want someone um, to click on the Zoom link and so I can see if I can bring someone onto a call on- onto onto YouTube through Zoom. So I hope you at least heard my request. Um, maybe you could let me know that at least, even if you don't want to come on. Maybe you could just let me know that you heard that I'm looking for someone to click on the link. I'll type that in the chat as well. Does someone want to volunteer to click on the Zoom link? Here it is again. Okay. I guess you might actually be able to hear my voice or see the chat before you hear my voice because there's like a 16-second delay between when I say something and when you can hear it on YouTube. So, but I think the chat is the chat is instantaneous. So, I was reading out what I was typing, but you probably saw the chat message that I was reading out before you heard me reading it out because of the delay. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to Zoom, see if anyone is. No, I don't see anyone in the waiting room. Oh, this is nice. I see in Zoom that tells me I'm streaming to YouTube, and but it's just me and Zoom. Okay, got five people. Oh, actually, maybe what I should do is put out an announcement on on Facebook and Twitter. That might be a way to get some more people. Um, oh, I got 7 or 8 people watching now. Thanks for coming by. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Um, yeah, I it's 9:30 now, my time. I'm on Pacific time. So maybe I will give you like 2 more minutes. If it gets to 9:32 and no one who's on the chat has come onto Zoom, then I will go on to Facebook and or Twitter and put out an announcement, and maybe that'll get some more people to come over. And so one of those people maybe will volunteer to join on Zoom. This is a new thing for me that I'm talking continuously the whole time. So if you're familiar with my channel, you know that most of my videos are discussions and debates. So I've got someone else to fill the airtime. Oh, we got someone who says I'm on hold on Zoom. Charlie Painter. Uh, okay. Your name sounds kind of familiar. I'm not sure from where. So maybe I've come across you somewhere, but I will take a chance and see if I can pull you onto a Zoom call. All right, let me go over to Zoom and see if I can find you. One moment. All right, it says Charlie Painter has entered the waiting room. All right, I'm going to admit and see what happens. Okay, admit, admit. All right, I hit admit, and it says there are two. Oh, okay. There is a screenshot of Charlie Painter. Well, it's a avatar, I guess. Oh, there we go. Hi,
Hello.
Charlie. Thanks for coming on and helping me out with this test. I cannot hear you. I can see you, but I cannot see it here. So, You want to try to say something?
Yes,
Because
can
you're
you hear me
muted right now.
now?
Um,
I am
I don't
not
know if
muted, it looks like.
I have. Let me see if I can. Okay, I still can't hear you, but let me go back to YouTube and make sure I can at least see you on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I can see you on YouTube. Uh, so now we just need to get the audio going. Lahopi says in chat, I appreciate your drive. I don't really agree with you, but I don't really agree with your perspective. I'm totally in support of your right to your free speech, though. Good job. All right, thank you, Lahopi. Appreciate it. Yeah, I assume a lot of people who come across my channel do not agree with me. And a big part of my channel, the purpose of it is to give people a new perspective. So I'm assuming a lot of people who come across me don't agree, and I'm trying to reach new people, maybe give them a new perspective on things. Okay, let me go back to Zoom and see if, okay, Charlie is still there in Zoom. Oh, I see there's a chat. Gave a thumbs up. Oh, it says you're unmuted. Okay. So maybe it's something. Oh, I think I know. Say something now.
Testing, one, two, three.
Okay, I figured out. Um, I had my entire computer muted because when I first started the stream, I was getting an echo. So I muted myself so I didn't get the echo. But now what I need to do is just mute YouTube, not my entire system. Then I will be able to hear you through Zoom and not through YouTube. So I shouldn't get any echoes. So let me go over to Zoom to YouTube and just mute YouTube. Yeah, I forgot I had my entire system on mute and not just the software I needed to mute. Okay, so I've now muted um, YouTube, and now I'm going to unmute. Oh, actually, I have to do one other thing. I have two tabs open, and I have to mute both tabs because I had the stream open in two separate tabs, so I have to mute them both tabs. Now I'm going to unmute my system, and I shouldn't hear. Okay, good. I don't hear myself now through my headphones. All right, now Charlie, go ahead and say something if you can.
Testing, one, two, three.
All right, excellent. I hear you, and I do not hear any echo, so we are good to
Great.
go. So this is the perfect setup I need to do live streaming Zoom calls. Now I just hope I can remember this for the future. There were a lot of steps and there was some backtracking, but I'm sure once I do this a few times, I will get the hang of it and it'll all go smoothly in the future. All right. So Charlie, thanks for coming on. As I meant, I don't know if you heard me say, your name sounds kind of familiar, so I don't know if I've come across you somewhere before. I don't know if you want to say, if you know whether you've come across me before, but if you do want to say, and if you do know, I would be interested to hear, but it's up to you.
Yeah, hi Dan. Yeah, I'm a fan of your channel. I'm a YouTube subscriber to your channel. I really like your content and your interviews. The reason why I stumbled across this was I was actually just listening to one of your latest interviews with some guy. It was about 30 minutes long, and it was called "The Gilded Age" was in the
Yeah,
title.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I make comments under objectivism YouTube posts and circles, and I subscribe to Your Brook and Ayn Rand Center UK and the Ayn Rand Center, and I've been interviewed by the United States Transhumanist Party a couple times on their channel about objectivism and liberty and individualism and topics like that. So
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, maybe if you want to come on my show sometime, hey, we're already here. Um,
yeah,
we could do like an impromptu chat. Actually, One thing I want to test right now, I want to be able to monitor what's going on YouTube at the same time as I'm doing the Zoom call. So let me resize this window and see if I can have an eye on both. So just bear with me for a moment while I go back to YouTube. I see John Wayne says, I agree with you. I'm not sure, John, if you are agreeing with the previous person who chatted, Lahopi, or you agree with something I said. Um, but anyways, let me actually, what I just need to do is do a pop out of the chat window. So I know somewhere there's a button for that. Oh, here we go. Pop out chat. So that'll give me a little window on the side, um, which should let me, let's see, I'm going to move this so that, let me bring back oh, actually what I need to do is resize this Zoom window a little bit. Okay. Okay, that's better. Now it's like taking up half my screen. One of these days I'll work on screen sharing too. I'm sure at some point that will be a useful thing to have. Okay, now I think I've got excellent setup. I've got half my screen. I've got a chat going on the left side of the screen, and on the right side of my screen, I've got Charlie on the top half, and I'm on the bottom half. So that's perfect for now, at least. Um, oh, here's another chat. Lahopi says, curious what you think about Elon's recent directives that seem to influence Trump's agenda. Um, all right, let me hold on for that. Oh, here's another thing I can do. I can also monitor on my phone. That's good because right now I can't see how many people are watching on my laptop, but I can see that on my phone. So I'll use my phone right now to monitor how many people are here. Oh, great. We got 6 likes. Good stuff. 5 watching now. I think some people are coming and going. Oh, actually, what I want to do, there's all this stuff I want to test. I'm like excited to test all the things I can do while I'm live streaming. So, sorry, I'm not going to ignore you for much longer. I'm coming back to you, Charlie, in just a minute. Um, I thought of one other thing I want to test right now, and that is to go into the analytics on um, my YouTube app. There's an analytics app for YouTube on my phone, which I'm going to go into. That'll allow me to see how many people have dropped by, not just the people who are currently watching. Okay, nice. So that's cool. Maybe I can hold this up to the camera so you can see. So this shows there are actually 14 people who have come by in the last hour since 9 p.m. So here, I'll hold this up and maybe you can see that. I have, it's kind of blurry because of, I think now you can at least sort of see it. You can see some bars. And over here oh, this is the most recent. So this is 14. Actually, if I press on it, yeah, now maybe you can, if I get it right, it says 14 viewers since 9 p.m. So that tells me how many people have come by. I guess it could be the same person leaving and then coming back. So I don't know if these are unique viewers, but at least it gives me some information. All right. So let me go back to where it tells me how many people are watching. Okay, here we go. So 4 people right now. It says. Okay, let me just quickly say something on Lahopi's last chat, and then I'll come back to Charlie. So Lahopi, you say, curious what I think about Elon's recent directives that seem to influence Trump's agenda. Um, okay, so. here's another thing new that I'm doing. I've never answered a live question like on my own channel. I've gone on many other people's channels and taken live questions. And, of course, I've done some live debates. A lot of people have seen my debates with Sam Cedar and David Pakman, for instance. But I haven't just like answered questions off the top of my head live on my own channel. So um, I feel like I wouldn't say I'm nervous about doing that now because I mean I've done it before just in other people's channels, but it's just kind of a new mindset for me. I'm getting used to doing this live on my own channel. So if I seem kind of disoriented, it's just because it's all also new. But and I'm gonna have to think of policies like because I can't screen anything if I'm just doing a live chat. So I have to think like, do I answer every question that comes in? Do I only answer some questions? This one, so here I have a question in my own mind, like, should I even try to answer this? Should I or not? Should I just maybe answer it later on another live stream or maybe make a comment about it? Um, I think I set this up so that the live chat is accessible later. I hope I did. That was my intention at least. So hopefully it doesn't disappear if I forgot. Actually, on my first live stream, which I did a couple days ago, where I didn't have any Zoom call, it was just me talking and no one else came on. I did have a live stream chat, but I think I forgot to hit the setting that saves the chat so that you can replay it later. So let me at least copy and paste this question from Lahopi, and then I can answer it in the comments later, like comment below this video in case I forgot to hit the option that allows me to save the live chat and replay it later, so it doesn't disappear into the ether. I just copied it, and I'm gonna go over to another screen now and paste it in there. You mentioned you watch some of your on Brook. I know sometimes I hear him on a show. He says he copies and pastes stuff into somewhere, and that's what I'm doing now. So, Lohopi, you are just the first person ever whose live comment I have pasted into another window so that I don't forget it and can somewhere answer. I guess what I'll do is if I leave it, see, this is another thing I have to think about. Do I want to leave this stream up um, or just do the live stream and take it down later, not have it up permanently? Um, or do I want to take it down and then edit it and then put back up an edited version that's maybe um, I've edited some things out, like if there's dead air at the beginning when I was trying to fix stuff. There's all the so I have some questions on exactly what I want to do with this. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll just leave it up, but at least I have the question somewhere. So I guess if I do decide to just leave this very stream up, I'll just answer it in the comments, unless I decide 2 minutes from now to answer it now. Um, so I'll either answer it in a comment below this stream or in a comment below an edited version of this stream, or uh, here's the thing. If I don't get back to you in like a month, you can just email me. You can email me your question at theselfishnessproject@gmail.com. That's the um, that's the email I have posted on my YouTube channel, which you can access through like there used to be an about page, but YouTube changed some stuff around, so there's no longer an about page. But if you go to someone's channel, wherever you get I don't know if it says more, but there's a way to just get like general info about the channel, like the about me, where there's a little description. If you go in there, I think that's where you can find the email. But I'll just say it again, theselfishnessproject@gmail.com. That's the email address I use for this channel. So you send your question in there if I don't answer it now and you still want an answer and I haven't if you and you haven't found an answer from me somewhere within like a month or something. So here's another thing, like I don't know how fast I'm going to get back to people on questions they send in. I don't have any strict rule now about like how fast I get back to people's emails. Sometimes a long time goes by, weeks, months. Um, Sometimes I'm very quick. I will have I have I used to have my actually no, I'm not going to mention that now. Anyways, so you can just send me an email there if I don't answer the question um, on a live stream. But let me give this a few more seconds of thought before and decide whether I want to say something about it now um, or not. So Hopi, let me go back to your question. Okay, yeah. So what do I think about Elon's directives? Um, so his all his Doge or Doge, I guess I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I guess Doge is what I usually hear. Directives that seem to influence Trump's agenda. Um, okay, before I say anything about what I think, let me just say I listen to Yaron Brook a lot. So for anyone who doesn't know, he is the chairman of the board at the Ayn Rand Institute, and he's maybe the most visible person out there now who does a podcast from an objectivist perspective, objectivism being the philosophy of Ayn Rand, which is what I try to promote on this channel. So I listen to Yaron's show a lot. Just search Yaron Brook show on YouTube, you'll find it. And he's talked a lot about, I mean, he covers the news. So he's done a lot of commentary on Trump for many, many years, ever since Trump came on the scene politically back in 2015 or so. I think that's when he was, or 16, whenever he announced his initial run for president. Euron has been covering him. I think about the same time Euron started his own show. Um, he's been talking about Trump for around a decade now. And he's certainly commented on Doge and Elon Musk, both just independently before Elon was involved. And also, of course, once he's been brought into governments to assist with Doge. So, um, and I generally agree. I mean, with Euron's takes. So that's if you I don't know if I agree with everything he says. There's probably at least some small things, maybe very small things, which I disagree with. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but there probably is something. But generally, I, I think I'm on the same page as you're on. He's much more in touch with the news than I am. Like I don't, it's not part of my daily routine to keep up with the news and read a bunch of newspaper articles or on the web. But I know Euron does that. I'm starting to do more of that, and maybe in the future I will do more of news commentary, which might be good if I'm going to be starting a live stream and bringing on people who want to talk about what's going on in the news. So I might do more of that in the future, but right now I'm a little bit in touch with the news. Certainly not as much as someone like Yaron Brook is. So he's definitely more knowledgeable than I am at this point on what's going on in the news. And so I would refer you to him as a good source, what I think is a good source, which probably is likely my opinion. Not necessarily, but there's a good chance. Um, so that's one thing I would recommend. Just check your on Brook. But off the top of my head, do I want to say anything about Elon's recent directives? Um, I guess I feel kind of mixed about it. Like I do think there are definitely problems with government, like waste and fraud, that I'm sure could be improved. By the way, thanks for hanging on, Charlie. I'm going to try to give a short answer here and come back to you in just a minute or two. Um, so I do think there is waste and fraud, which I guess it's the part of the at least part of the purpose of DOGE to help identify and I guess I don't know if DOGE or someone else will correct it, but at least identify sources of waste and fraud. That's good, but I don't think they're really touching the main thing that needs to be touched. They're tinkering with small details. So something like Social Security or Medicare, that is a major government program which costs, up over $1 trillion or many billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. That is the real problem with the U.S. fiscally. And I think if you don't touch that, you're not really going to do anything serious to fix the U.S.'s financial problems and our, many trillions of dollars in debts that we are. I I think you really have to phase out and ultimately abolish these massive government programs. But Trump doesn't want to do that, and I think most politicians don't want to do that. It's considered sacrosanct, the third rail, it's sometimes called, but that's really what needs to happen. I think these are immoral programs. They coerce people. They force some people to pay for others' retirement or medical care, and that's immoral. People should be free. They shouldn't be forced to use their funds to pay for other people. So these entire programs are awful. They should be scrapped. They have to be phased out, I think, because they're so ingrained into the system that if you just try to abolish them overnight, it would be unfair and you leave people hanging, people who have paid into the system for many years, decades, and they might rely on that heavily in some cases. If especially if you're like at the threshold of retirement or being eligible for Medicare. I don't think you can cut those people out immediately, but for people who are much younger, like 20 years old, or just entering the workforce, I think for those people, they shouldn't have to pay in. And maybe if you're somewhere in the middle, like let's say you're 45 years old, maybe you should be eligible for 50% of what you were promised initially. But it's just unsustainable. I don't think it can go on. I think it's scheduled to go bankrupt, or the fund, the trust fund, whatever it's called, it's only got like 10 years left or something. Maybe it's less than that now. This is something which, I don't have all the facts and figures, but just giving you a ballpark idea. But anyways, um, I, I think the whole DOGE thing, I don't know if it's just meant to be a distraction, like a lot of um, bombast. That was a term that came up in one of your on's recent um, podcasts. Do some, very crazy big things that are flashy and get people's attention, but it's not really doing anything that's substantively going to fix the financial problems of the U.S. until you uh, start taking on these entitlement programs and you do start questioning um, and phasing them out. So I think that's all I will say right now in reply to Hopi's comments. So now I don't have to send you an email. So unless you want to hear more, if you want to send a follow-up, you can do that. Um, okay, so let me come back now to Charlie. Thanks for patiently waiting. I see there was another thing in the Zoom chat. Okay, I see. Yeah, you said you also subscribed to your on. Yeah, great material. Definitely agree. Okay. So Charlie, you want to chat a little bit? Where did we leave off? Oh, hold on. You're a little scratchy or echoey. Can you say something again?
Yeah, testing one, two, three.
Okay, good. I can hear you well now. So thanks for hanging on. I don't know if you had any thoughts on what I was talking about DOGE or anything, or if there's anything else you were interested in chatting about. Um, Feel free to raise any issues. I'm really just appreciative that you helped me test out the technical stuff. That was the main objective for tonight, and that's been a success now. Took a little while, but it's working. I can do this live stream, and then as I said, hopefully it'll go smoother in the future, and it won't take 45 minutes to get it going. Actually, the first stream, I put up a stream at 8:45 p.m. and then I couldn't get that to work. So then I took that stream down and started a new stream at I think around 9. And then maybe like half hour after that, is when I finally got the sound working and the Zoom going. Anyways, thanks for coming on. Oh, here's a one more chat message. Lahopi says, "Hey man, you are brave doing this live. Much respect. I know we may not agree, but I respect you to do this live." Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Hopi. Um, appreciate it
Uh,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dan.
go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah, thanks. Well, just a quick little tidbit here. So I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. So it's 2 hours later. It's about just about midnight. It's a few minutes to midnight. Um, I basically run a meetup group here in Madison. It's an objectivism meetup group, and we're going into our third year. And I don't know if you know much about Madison or this area, but it's very heavily liberal. Uh, I got into Ayn Rand during the lockdown period of COVID. We were one of the areas that locked down and had very strict restrictions on everything and restaurants and everything. And I'm a performing jazz guitar player. I'm an entrepreneur. I teach guitar and I play in a jazz trio, and that's how I make my living. And so
Hmm.
during the COVID lockdowns and the restrictions, that affected my business, and one of the schools I was teaching at shut down. And so that's what got me into objectivism and Ayn Rand. First it was the libertarian channels like Tom Woods and stuff like that, and then I noticed Stefan Malyu and all that before he got booted off YouTube, and they were all mentioning Ayn Rand, and so then I found the Ayn Rand Institute and then Yaron Brook, and that's so I do consider myself an objectivist, and it's definitely impacted my life for the better, practically, morally, economically. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm coming from, and then I basically, didn't want to annoy all my friends talking about these ideas because I don't really have many objectivist friends around the area. So I started a meetup group that meets twice a month at a local coffee shop, and I've been doing that for 3 years now, going on 3 years. So that's kind of where I'm coming from here.
Okay, great. Thanks for that introduction. That was really, really good. Yeah, that probably would have been the best place for me to start, as opposed to like, do you have any comments on Doge? Like, just who are you? That's a really good that was a good intro. So thanks for that. That's interesting. So you came across I guess it was around 5 years ago then, that because that was when the COVID lockdown period was.
Yes, I think you're breaking up on me. Oh, slightly. There's a little bit of glitching going on in Zoom here.
Bunch of apps running, and I guess when I stream in the future, I should have fewer apps, or maybe upgrade my computer so it can process things more easily. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but the video is kind of glitchy. I'm gonna close YouTube and just talk to you here, and maybe because maybe it's on my end too. I'm not sure. So
Okay, yeah, maybe I should also, if I still sound glitchy after you close your video, I'll close my video also, and we'll see if that helps with the sound.
okay.
So, okay,
All right, here goes.
all right. So Charlie is going to close his video. Was that the idea?
Yep.
And okay, I can still see you. Oh, you said you were just
Okay.
going to close the YouTube?
Yeah, and just
Oh,
use
oh,
Zoom.
okay. Okay.
I have both.
I was thinking you meant turn off your video on Zoom.
Oh,
I see. You meant something different. I got you. Okay. So yeah, we'll just I guess we can incrementally close different things. Like first we can close YouTube, then we can turn off the video on Zoom, and all of these are different ways of reducing the amount of processing that the computer, yours and or mine, has to do. Um, so
oh,
I got you now. Do I sound clear right now?
yeah, you sound clear, and it actually the video is not as blurry or glitchy as it was, so it is better.
Okay, good. Yeah, I haven't been monitoring myself on the video. Right now, I see on my phone, it looks pretty good for both of us actually. I don't know if it's different on if I look on my laptop or my phone. But right now, at least on my phone, both look good. Let me come over to the let me see how it looks on my laptop. Just a sec. I'm curious. It looks pretty good there too. Okay, good.
Yeah, and this is an
So let me bring
Android
back.
phone I'm using right here for all of this. It's a fairly new phone, so it seems to be holding up.
Okay. Oh, you're doing this on your phone, not a laptop.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice. Okay. Well, it's good to meet you, Charlie. Yeah, I've never actually been to Madison, Wisconsin. I know there are definitely some people up there who are interested in objectivism. Actually, I might be thinking of Michigan. I know there's a crew in Michigan who Euron has mentioned on his show sometimes. Um, there's a large Michigan contingent. I know there used to at least used to be a significant group in at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I don't know if there's a club there now, but I know there used to be. Um, uh, but yeah, I'd someday I'd like to visit that part of the country, see a new place. So you started reading, or at least you heard about Ayn Rand's like roughly 5 years ago, and then where did you go from there? Did you read some of her works? What did you start with?
Yeah, just going right back to your earlier comment, quick, about the UW Madison here. They did have an objectivism meetup group at the UW, and actually the woman Lauren who ran that is actually in my meetup group that meets, and she's been to
Oh, okay.
OCon. She's met Harry Binswanger and Greg Salmieri and all these people and stuff, and yeah, she's even more knowledgeable than I am, but she's a parent and she's homeschooling her kid and taking care of a lot of things, so she doesn't get a lot of time to go out and lead groups and stuff like that anymore. But so yeah, to
I
answer
wonder
your
if
question,
I've probably seen her because I've gone to objectivist conferences for many years. I don't know if you want to say her last time. You don't have to, but I don't know what Lauren. I can think of some Laurens, but I'm not sure if they're the same one you're talking about. But anyways, um,
Lauren Mayer, Meyer, Mayer, Lauren Mayer.
okay, that sounds familiar. She's probably someone who, if I saw her, I would think, oh yeah, I've definitely seen her before. But I'm having a little trouble associating with the name with the face. But I definitely recognize the name. Actually, maybe if I go to Facebook, I wonder if we're connected on Facebook. Let me see if she's maybe it'd be easier to try that on my phone. See
Yeah,
if I
she
can
has a yeah. You would remember her. She has a very strong presence and strong
Okay,
minded. Yep.
I see a Lauren Mayer, and yeah, I actually had an image of who she might be, and it's the one who shows up on Facebook. So I do think I know who you're talking about, unless it's a coincidental same name of someone else. But no, it says studied at UW-Madison, so this has got to be the same person. It's, and she's in Wisconsin. So okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I've met her. I don't know if she remembers me or knows me. She's probably seen me around. I don't think we've spoken much. Maybe we've just said hi or introduced, but I'm not sure about that. But I've definitely seen her. Okay, so yeah, I at least know who that is. Let me bring back the John says yikes in the chat. I don't know what you're saying yikes to, John. But anyways, okay, yeah. So you were you've met some of the people in that group, or at least you know that the group is still, or she comes to your group, the one that you started.
Yeah, she was the one that was in charge of the objectivism meetup group at the UW, the university here in Madison. That's what you were saying because you said you had thought you had heard of an objectivist community at the university here, and yeah, in fact, it was led by Lauren. But that was back in 2000, I want to say 17 or 19 or something like that. But nonetheless, yeah, she's in my meetup group. I'm there's all different kinds of people. Some frustrated libertarians in the meetup group. A couple kind of conservative libertarians. Some people who are kind of still more in the left, realm. But it's really great. We get together, we discuss, current event stuff and how it relates to philosophy. We discuss the ideas, the novels. To answer your question, during the pandemic, I found Huron Brook, in the Ayn Rand Institute, and I started going through their material, and then I started reading. I read The Virtue of Selfishness. That was the first book that I read of Ayn Rand's.
Hmm.
I actually just recently read The Fountainhead, and I really, I had a lot of spoilers before I read it, unfortunately, so I kind of knew what happened in it, but it was still triumphant, that ending and everything. It was really great. So,
Uh-huh. Nice. Yeah, I also read the nonfiction first, so there were a lot of spoilers for me, which is kind of unfortunate. But on the other hand, I think for me, it might have been the best way to start because I didn't want to read through a whole story to like get to I was already interested in philosophy and I had specific questions that I wanted to know, what are her ideas? What are her arguments for her positions? I didn't want to read some story. So so for me, I was most interested in the nonfiction, although I wonder if that's partly just because the way I found out about it was my brother recommended Philosophy Who Needs It, and I didn't know any other books, so that was the first one I bought. Maybe if he had mentioned one of the fiction books, I would have started with that. But in any case, I started with the fiction, and I guess I had a lot of motivation to read the nonfiction first, because as soon as I bought the Philosophy Needs It, I could see inside the cover a list of all her other books, and I could clearly see that oh, so there's also some fiction here, and I could have chosen to go down that road instead. But I decided to stay with the nonfiction, and actually, it wasn't until a year later that I read the fiction. Uh, so I read the first. It was in the summer, right after I graduated high school, when I read Philosophy Who Needs It, which was the first one, and then I think the order was after that: Virtue of Selfishness, um, Capitalism: The Unknown Ideal, and then Romantic Manifesto, or maybe the last two were reversed. Maybe Romantic. I'm not sure, um, but I think maybe then Introduction to Objectivist Epistemology, and then I even heard some lecture courses by Leonard Peikoff back in those days. This was the late 90s. The internet was pretty young, and there wasn't a ton of free material, at least when it comes to like lecture courses from Leonard Peikoff. A lot of that is free online, but back in those days, you had to pay hundreds of dollars and then wait for them to show up in the mail. So that's how I got them. And so I heard some of his courses, expensive courses for me at least, expensive. Um, The Art of Thinking, I think, might have been one of the first, if not the first course by him that I heard. And there were definitely spoilers in there. So it wasn't until the next summer after my first year in university that I started reading the fiction. And then I went from shortest to longest. That's how I did it. So I started with Anthem. Uh, Maybe that's another sign that I was more of a nonfiction guy. I didn't want to commit to a huge thing. So just start for something small, and then maybe that'll motivate me to go take the next step, do something a little bigger. So I first read Anthem, which for anyone who doesn't know, is a little novelette. You can read it in one day, in a few hours. Um, and then after that, I read We the Living, which is, I think, like maybe around 400 pages, something like that. It might depend on your edition, but roughly. And that's based in Soviet Russia, or yeah, Soviet Russia, which is the most autobiographical of her novels, during the time of the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution. And then after that, I went to Fountainhead, which is like 700 or 800 pages. And then that was enough for that first summer. And then I had to wait another year till the next summer till I read Atlas because it was getting late in the summer and I didn't want to have to read like part of Atlas and not have time to finish it that summer. Um, so I waited a whole year till I had the next summer where I had lots of time, where I could have just uninterrupted time with the book. And so I waited 2 years from when I first read Ayn Rand to when I started when I read Atlas Shrugged. And in the meantime, I think I might have actually started an objectivist club. This was at the University of Virginia. That's where I did my undergraduate degree. And I started it, I think not my first year, but or maybe it was the second semester of my first year. Yeah, I think that's when it was. Yeah, I think it was the second semester of my first year. So that would have been, yeah, I hadn't read any of the fiction yet. Of course, there are some like speeches, like For the New Intellectual. I forgot to mention that that was another one I read my first summer. And there are speeches from the novels that are excerpted into the that book For the New Intellectual. But I didn't read the speeches. I only read the title essay, which was so I stayed in the realm of nonfiction for that first summer, and waited another year or two in the case of Alice to read the others. I didn't want to read the speeches out of context. So there's more history than I've ever given, I think, on my channel before, as to like the details of when I read what. So interesting that this has come up in a live stream. Maybe it's not a coincidence. You get into some new territory, start chatting, new stuff comes up. So that's cool. Oh, you said it was late. Yeah, I don't know what time you go to sleep, but I guess you're 2 hours ahead of me, so it's maybe past your bedtime. Um, is there anything you wanted to chat about before you sign off, or how are you feeling?
Getting there. It's getting late for me, but well, I'd be interested once you get this up and running. If you want to chat at length some other time or whatever, I'd be happy to talk to you about some of the, talk with you about these ideas and such.
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to chat more, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I also want to put out a call to other people. I'm trying to grow my channel, so live streaming is another way to do that. It's up to this point, I've only done pre-recorded videos on my own channel. As I've mentioned, I've done live calls on other people's channels, but I'm trying to do something new on this channel, and maybe having a live stream format will be more inviting to some people. And it doesn't have to be a debate. It can just be a discussion. And I might tweak things as time goes by. Exactly how do I want to focus the channel? But for now, I'm pretty flexible. It's just my general theme is just Ayn Rand. And that doesn't even have to be explicit. It could just be implicit in the background. And it doesn't mean you have to agree with Ayn Rand. You could disagree. I'm happy to have debates. Or maybe you consider yourself an Ayn Rand fan or an objectivist, and maybe there's some smaller points that we could chat about, something you disagree with, or you want to understand better. Maybe there's something you think I get wrong that I could do better. I'm open to feedback. We could also just do some kind of get to know you kind of sessions like this. Like I got to know Charlie, a new person out there who's been listening to my content for a while, and I didn't know him. I think I've seen his name around here and there, but I've never had a conversation. And I'd be happy to get to know some of my listeners. Um, so if you're out there, you're hearing this, feel free to get in touch. And if you want to have a conversation, you can drop me an email. Again, it's theselfishnessproject@gmail.com, or you can just leave a comment on one of my videos. I guess that's more public. The email is a private channel you can reach me at. But if you want to, you can just also leave a comment on my channel and I'll see that. Um, oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully, maybe that's a sign I should wrap this up soon. Um, you can also get in touch with me through other platforms, other social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, or X as they call it now. I'm on Discord, and there's links to some or all of those on my YouTube channel. So yeah, anyone out there who's hearing this, feel free to get in touch. We can have a discussion or debates, and I guess now it could be live. It doesn't have to be something we set up and then schedule. And I'm not saying I'm never going to do pre-scheduled things before. I might still do that, but now we have another feature that I'm adding on top of what I've had before, which is the live streaming option. And that's another thing. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing this. Like, is it going to be a weekly thing, a monthly thing, a daily thing, a random whenever I feel like it thing? I don't know. This is all really new, and that's something I'm going to be figuring out. I have to integrate it with my schedule and figure out what the best time is. I don't know if it's always going to be a consistent time like this. Right now, it's 10:18 p.m. on a Saturday night. Um, so I don't know if it's going to be Saturdays, it's going to be other days of the week. That's all stuff that I'm going to figure out in the future. And if you have suggestions, anyone out there, feel free to let me know your preferences. And I'll just say, feel free to, or I invite you to like and subscribe. That's a way to help grow the channel. Also leave comments. I'm sure you all know that. You've heard it a million times on other videos, but maybe sometimes just hearing it again will help uh, grow this channel in particular. I want to also grow it financially. I am on Patreon, and I haven't really promoted that aspect of it. But I'm doing other things right now to subsidize my YouTube channel right now. I've got a couple people who right now are on Patreon. I used to have more, but then I don't know why some dropped out. Maybe because I had a very irregular upload schedule and I wasn't doing it as often as I used to or as they would have liked. But maybe now with the live stream, I'll be motivated to do more. I'm not sure, but anyways, I am trying to get the financial backing for this channel. I want it to be financially self-sustaining, so I don't have to do other stuff as well. Um, so I have a Patreon account and a PayPal. Those are also linked on my channel. And also, Super Chat is a thing. As you know, some YouTube channels you can do live stream Super Chats. And I can't do that yet because I don't yet have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time within the last 20 months, last 12 months, year, which I have to meet both of those parameters and can apply to YouTube to have my channel monetized. So right now I've got 808 subscribers, last I checked. So if you want to help me make this channel self-sustaining financially, you can do it just by subscribing if you're not already subscribed. That alone will help me get up to the thresholds I need, up to 1,000 subscribers. And then along with more subscribers, hopefully that will also increase the watch time. And eventually I will hit that 4,000 hours of watch time within the last 12 months threshold. Once I'm at that stage, I can apply to YouTube to get monetized. And then at that point, I think I'll be eligible to have Super Chat added as a feature on my channel. And then that will be another way, in addition to like Patreon, that I can raise some money for the channel and have it become self-sustaining. All right, so there's my pitch for everyone. Thanks for coming by, everyone who popped in and popped out. And special thanks to Charlie for becoming my very first ever in the history of the channel live stream guest. Really appreciate you coming on, Charlie. It's good to meet you. And maybe next time I come on, we can have another guest. So if someone else wants to come on, feel free to let me know. And Charlie, we can also be in touch. As you said, we can do another call and get into some other topics, get to know each other some more. And I guess I'll leave it there for now. So
Sounds
thanks,
great.
thanks again for coming by. All right, have a good night. All right. Now I have to figure out how to end this smoothly. I have to stop the stream on YouTube and on Zoom. Maybe I should stop it on YouTube first. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the stream on YouTube and then I'm going to close it on Zoom. There's a way to have them close simultaneously, and maybe I'll figure that out in the future and start simultaneously. But for right now, I'm going to close the YouTube first And then I'm going to close the Zoom. Oh, I see one more chat came in from Hopi. If there were no laws about medical discrimination, I would literally be dead at this point. All right, maybe we can talk about that in another live stream. I think that's what I'm gonna say to this. I'm not gonna try to give a reply right now to this, but I am gonna copy and paste this into my other file. Not that I won't say I'm gonna answer this, but maybe if you come back in another live stream and you ask it earlier in the live stream, as opposed to when I'm just about to sign off, then I could more likely answer it during the live stream. I know sometimes you're on Brooke, he'll save his questions and then answer them in a future show, but those are super chats. You know, he's getting paid money for that. So if I were being paid right now to answer this question, I would definitely guarantee that I would reply to it in a future show. But since this is not a super chat question, I'm not going to guarantee that. But if you ask it in a future live stream, then there's a good chance that I will answer that. I'll have to see how many questions I get, right? If I'm getting a ton of questions, then it's going to be harder to answer everything. But if there's, the fewer questions there are, or comments there are, the more likely I can reply to it. Okay. I guess that's it for now. Thanks, everyone. Again, Charlie, thanks for coming by. And thanks for people in the chat coming by, or even if you were just listening and not participating in the chat. Thanks for coming by. Here's one more from Lahopi. He says, thanks, man. I mentioned it 10 minutes before the end of the stream, but I get it. Yeah, I didn't see it until maybe I saw it later than you typed it. But anyways, yeah, I got to wrap it up now. So yeah, maybe I'll see it earlier if I do another stream. Not if, I will do another stream. But yeah, if I see it earlier in the next stream, then I should more likely be able to reply to it. Okay, I will sign off of YouTube now. So thanks again for coming by. Have a good night, everyone. Where is it? I'm trying to find the link to stop this. Oh, I think I found it. Okay, I had to go into Zoom. YouTube. All right, I think if I hit this button stop, it's going to stop.